What up, all my fight fans? So, the end of the year is upon us. We are just a couple of days away from starting 2023. And I want to talk to you guys about this year for the UFC. And I'm talking about the best of. I'm talking about the best knockout, the best submission, the best fight, maybe even the best round, the fighter of the year, the female fighter of the year, like just everything I want to talk about. So, let's go from the top of the list. Let's start off from fighter of the year. And there's a lot of contenders there. You got Alexander Volkanovski, you have Alex Pereira, you have Islam Makhachev. You have some good contenders in there. There's some good contenders. There's been a lot of fighters out there that really showcases what they were made of, and how they were able to do what moves they were able to come up with, what adversities they were able to overcome, what developments they made and such like that. So there was a lot. There was a lot of challenges. Even like guys like even Leon Edwards and such. But honestly, me personally, my fighter of the year would have to go to Alexander Volkanovski. The destruction that he did to the Korean Zombie, and then cementing his legacy as one of the best, if not the best, featherweights of all time, and beating Max Holloway was one of the greatest performances I've ever seen, honestly. Because you look at those two fights with him and Max Holloway, they were really close, razor thin. Anybody could have won that fight. A lot of people even felt like Volkanovski lost that second fight. But you know what? He went in there and he just dominated Max Holloway. I mean, beat Max Holloway like we've never seen Max Holloway get beat. Last time he got beat, you know what? Even Dustin Poirier couldn't even beat Max Holloway like that. A clear shutout. Because, I know some people gave him some rounds and it was good back and forth. This was not even close. This was just a shutout. This was 100%. You know what? Yes, I am better than you. The part one, part two, maybe been close, but I'm going to show you part three. You're not even come near me. You're not even going to come near me. That's what Volkanovski says. So that's my fighter of the year. Female fighter of the year, it's a toss-up. Because you got Amanda Nunes, who did lose her title in a very, very devastating fashion. She did get beat by Juliana Pena, but then she rebounded and got that victory back in a really good, devastating fashion. So that's very impressive. But then you got girls, like Weili Zhang, who she was able to come back after some of the unfortunate losses that she had in the previous year and get that title back against Clark. I'm sorry, I'm drawing a name on her. Her name Carla Esparza. I said excuse me, Carla Esparza. There we go. So she was able to get the title victory back. She had some really good performances. You have Valentina. She had a very close, edgy decision over, I think her name was Santos. Forgive me if I'm saying that wrong. So that was a very close one too. But at the end of the day, she ended up getting a couple wins underneath her belt. She ended up keeping her title. So you definitely would have to give it to Valentina. Valentina is definitely just still as regarded one of the very best female fighters out there. And I really hope to see her move up eventually, because at some point in time it just becomes stagnant, becomes stale when we see this very, very one-sided victories, such as like we'll be seeing with Valentina. So it would be very fun to see her try her skills and try new developments in a different weight class. That's just me personally. So let's go for fight of the year. Fight of the year, God. You know what? I would have to give it to Yuri Prochazka and Glover Teixeira. That was one hell of a fight. I mean, these guys gave it all. These guys gave us the drama. These guys gave us the excitement. These guys gave us, when we thought that the fight was going to be over, Glover was going to be out. No, Glover comes back. When we thought the fight was going to be over, we thought Yuri's going to be out. Nope, Yuri comes back. It was back and forth, back and forth. Glover's ready to win. Glover, that's it. All he has to do is edge out this fight. All he has to do is just wait it out. Boom, what has happened? He gets caught in submission. Yuri taps him out, becomes the undisputed light heavyweight champion of the world. That was one hell of a great performance by Yuri Prochazka, and it was a definitely fun fight to watch. I recommend you. If you have not seen it, please go and watch it. It is definitely one for the books. As far as knockout goes, you can't, honestly, hands down, the best knockout of the world has to go to Leon Edwards. Leon Edwards, again, you know what? If I would have to get Leon Edwards to two rewards in this category. Well, not in this category. In this, since I'm talking about Leon Edwards, we got the greatest knockout and the greatest comeback. Leon Edwards won that first round against Kamaru Usman. And then little by little by little, Kamaru Usman is just edging that out, cruising to a victory, cruising to a victory. Fifth round, maybe like a minute left, if not more or less, give or take. And then all he has to do is just cruise just a little bit more, whack. Leon Edwards catches him with that one head kick, that one shot head kick, flatline. That is it. Kamaru Usman is done, and you got yourself a new welterweight champion, Leon Edwards. I mean, like I said, Leon Edwards was done. That's it. This was a shot. And it's definitely one hell of a story, too, because, the fact that this guy has went through so much during COVID. He was supposed to get a shot against Tyron Woodley in 2020, but then unfortunately COVID fell through and that fight fell out. And then he was going to try to get more shots and more opportunities, but then he couldn't get home, and then he couldn't get to the States, and there was just one after the other, and then a fight fell through, and then he has a great fight with Nate Diaz, but gets rocked, and that loses a lot of his credibility in 2021, I believe it was, yes. And then, he has another fight against Bilal Muhammad, and unfortunately, accidental eye poke happens. So he's had so much bad luck. And now here he is in the biggest fight of his life, and he is ready to take on Kamaru Usman, the champion, the pound-for-pound #1 guy in the world, and he is losing. He has a really good first round, but then he is just completely getting dominated by Kamaru Usman, left and right. That is it. It doesn't matter. There's nothing you can do about it. But then he proves us all wrong. He says, nope, the fight ain't over till it's over, and he whacks Kamaru Usman with one shot, and it was one hell of a shot. So I definitely give him that comeback of the year and that knockout of the year, Leon Edwards, for sure. Submission of the year, I would have to give it to Islam Makhachev. I know that Yuri Prochazka was one hell of a submission. That was a very, very come from behind. He, again, was the one that was going to be losing 100%. That is it. Like, the fight was going to be over, hands down. But he comes out of nowhere, grabs it. But for Islam to do what we saw Charles Oliveira done, no one's ever dominated Charles Oliveira to that extent in recent years. Charles Oliveira has been submitted before. I believe he's been submitted before, to my knowledge. I'm not 100% sure. I think that might have been his first submission. Forgive me for that. But no one's ever done what Islam did to Charles Oliveira. I actually had Charles Oliveira. I picked Charles Oliveira to win, but to see what he was able to do with ease, it just looks so damn easy. He was able to crack him with a few shots, was able to knock him down, but that's not saying too much because a lot of people knocked him down. Chandler, Gaethje, Poirier, but still was able to get down there, get him into a submission with ease. Everything just looks so easy. Islam made it so easy. I'm not saying it was easy, but he just made it look like he wasn't even trying. He didn't even look like he broke a sweat in that fight. And he was able to submit the man who has the most submissions in the UFC. That is saying a lot because Charles Oliveira does hold that record as for the most submissions in the UFC. He holds that record. So to be able to do that, a lot of people had him winning. They picked Islam for the win, but to do it in the way he did it, nobody ever anticipated that. It was just completely flawless. So I definitely give him that submission of the year. Round of the year, you know what? You can't go wrong with a Dustin Poirier and Michael Chandler fight. But when you have them both, that first round was back and forth. That first round was war. These guys went to war with each other, and these guys gave it all. I thought Michael Chandler had Dustin Poirier in that round. I thought he was gonna crack him. I thought it was just gonna be over. Literally, like he was just landing him some bombs, heavy bombs. But then Dustin Poirier comes back. Dustin Poirier comes, cracks him with a few good shots. Where Chandler is swinging with all his might and everything he has and is in his power. He had it all, and he was able to get Dustin, with some really good shots. Where Dustin Poirier hit him with crisp shots, straight down the middle. With the accuracy, you just couldn't miss whatsoever, and back Chandler up. It was one hell of a battle. That was one definitely up there for fight of the year as well, because the rest of the fight was just as good. Not just that round. But to me, that round was definitely Michael Chandler and Dustin Poirier. Definitely round of the year. That's for me. But that's just my pick for this year, guys. Let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know what was your favorite knockout of the year, submission of the year, round of the year, comeback of the year, fighter of the year, both male and female. Let me know all those. Let me know what was your favorite moment in this in the UFC of year 2023. Let me know in the comments of what you think. Let me know in the comments what you feel. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Just let me know, guys. Like, subscribe, hit that notification button, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.